Welcome back to Women in Real Estate. I am so excited because we have Sarah Hudgins here. She is one of the top real estate agents in Southwest Florida. She services the luxury market, and she's actually working with developers on some new projects. And I know many of you are interested in that world as well, because real estate has taken a turn these last few years, and learning how to coordinate projects like that is huge for you. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about that with her. And also, she's a mom. She has 2 young kids, so we can learn a lot from her and her time management. So thank you, Sarah, so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got started in real estate?
Yes, so I moved down here from Michigan in 2005, and I got an office job. I was excited about it. And I realized shortly thereafter that I wasn't cut out to be sitting behind a desk all day.
Yeah.
And I saw the excitement of Naples. The real estate market here was so vibrant, and just, it was beautiful, and architecture, everything just called to me. So I got my real estate license.
I want to stop you there because you're speaking my language, and it's something we haven't talked on yet. But the reason I love real estate is the beauty of it. It's so feminine. It's so beautiful to take someone and put them in something beautiful, or have them make it beautiful. I love that piece of it. So thank you for talking.
It's kind of like matchmaking.
Yeah.
Because you're working with somebody, and then you have to find the perfect property for them. And there's so many beautiful properties in Southwest Florida, but it's definitely an exciting place to sell real estate. And so I got my real estate license in 2009 and have been doing that ever since. I had my children along the way and stayed with it, despite the fact that sometimes it was hard. But the market's definitely evolved a lot since I got involved in 2009. And because back then it was all short sales and foreclosures, and now the market has just gone bonkers. And it's hard to come by a listing or, find a property without getting it snapped up off the market, which is why I'm very fortunate to be involved in new development projects right now, because you can get in and actually stake your claim.
I'm excited to talk to you about that. I think it's something everybody can learn from. So you said it was hard when you had little kids and you're still in the business. So can you talk to some ways that people can manage that type of time commitment on both ends?
Yes, I mean, for me, it's all about planning, and I have to have structure and know what my schedule looks like, and I'm a visual person, so I would always have like an old school calendar and just like map it out.
I love physical too. I like it in front of me. Yeah.
Like, so these days I did put my children in preschool when they were little, and so I knew I had that in the morning, and then I'm lucky enough to have my parents here for part of the year, so that was huge. I hired a babysitter also that she came like at a regimented times, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a certain block. And that helped me a lot, just having that schedule in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of women suffer with hiring because they have that mom guilt, like, no, I should be doing this. So can you speak to that point of going through that and how you got through that?
Oh gosh, mom guilt is a real thing. And I definitely had it. I mean, I wanted to be like home nursing my son, and I remember I had to run to a listing appointment, and I had to get pads and everything to wear because I was going to, impress somebody, and I was just, and I was literally leaking with stress and then anxiety and mom guilt. But, as I have watched my kids grow up with me selling real estate, they are my real estate assistants. They come with me. They've been in homes from Marco, Isle of Capri, Bonita Bay, Port Royal.
That's so cool.
Not that they're always with me, but on occasions they've had to come, and they like to see the houses. And both of them, I think it's good for them to see that their mom is working. I take my job seriously. I'm very proud of what I do. And especially for my daughter, I mean, it's important for boys to see that women can be successful too, but I'm just proud to say, like, this is what I do. You can be successful too. You got to put your mind to it and just like stick with it. And so I don't know, the mom guilt has faded away as they've gotten a little bit older, but it's just something that you have to do for yourself, and it's actually eventually for your children as well.
That's so important, and one of the reasons that I love real estate is because I feel like, now my kids are 6 and 2, but I feel like as they get a little older, you can bring them into that world, and that seems to be a pretty common thing that when you're successful in real estate, you bring your kids into your world. They don't necessarily have to be separate, right? They can be together.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing about being a mom is, like, people have to realize you can't separate being a mom and a career all the time. Most people have kids, or they have had kids, or they have children around them at some point, and so we're all human, and people understand, like, I can't show you that house tomorrow because my son's got a soccer game and I can't miss it, but I'm available at 2 o'clock. That's the other thing I've had to learn is sometimes I never like to say no, especially if people are willing to, like, you know, put money down and they're really serious about buying something, but that you have to have boundaries. And people will respect that, and then your time is better served because you're able to concentrate and give all of your attention to what's important.
What's your biggest tip around boundaries? So setting those boundaries with clients that may skirt that line, right? Because I know so many people in real estate have struggled with that, and that people, you know, either will spend, you know, 3 years with you looking at properties and then go with someone else, or they think that your time is their time, right? And so they might take advantage in that way.
It's hard. It's really kind of touchy-feely. It depends on the customer. Before, I've actually brought other agents in if I felt like somebody might have been wasting my time, and pass them along to an associate to say, like, you know, I'm not available this day, but maybe my friend could take you or come with me, and sort of just try to smooth it out. And then usually, I mean, things end up working out one way or another. I've never actually had to fire somebody, but that is an option. I mean, people just have to be gently told, and, you know, this is my job. I take this very seriously. I've spent this time with you, and I respect you, and I would appreciate if you would respect me as well. And so I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had anybody that was too much of a stinker.
That's good. And I'm a big believer in manifestation, and you are what you attract, right? So just try to attract the best clients that you possibly can.
Yep. And call them back up if you need to.
Yes, and call them back up. Make sure you have a team or a way to help you with that. So you mentioned that, you know, you grinded through having kids and everything, and then you just worked really hard, and you're showing in Port Royal, which, for those of you who don't know, is a very, very high-end area in Naples. And I'd love to know how you worked your way up to the luxury market and this new development project that you have. We want to talk about that too.
Well, I really just stuck with it. I think one of the questions I was pondering before the interview was how, like, if you could start anything or do something differently. And I think, like, starting from the get-go, if I could do anything differently from the beginning of my career, I would give myself more credit and just not be so hard on myself, because it takes time. And real estate can be very intimidating in Southwest Florida because there are so many luxury properties. There's so many very talented agents that are well-rooted, like blue bloods of Naples. But I stuck with it, and I just kept working, and I had a goal. I'm a big thing about writing things down, manifesting as well, and I wanted to target Old Naples and certain areas on the waterfront, and so I hit those areas, and then I got in with the wonderful broker, William Ravis, that has really helped encourage me. My broker, Matt Lane, is awesome. And so I had the opportunity to interview for a new development downtown, and I don't even know who I interviewed against, but I'm sure it was some top agents, and I felt very, very honored that I was chosen to be the one to sell it. And then it was my baby all this past season. It was called Stella Naples. It still is called Stella Naples. 10 luxury residential units above commercial space, where the old Seashell Motel used to be.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Just a few blocks north of Fifth Avenue.
Wow.
And I think it's been a landmark project for Old Naples, because since then, other developers are now looking at that project and trying to replicate to do the same sort of profile and hike the prices up even more, because that's just the way that the market's been going.
Sure.
So yeah, and we've had such success with Stella that we're looking at doing another project in that same area downtown, because the luxury market is just exploding. People want luxury, people want to be in Naples, and
It's beautiful.
if we will sell it, we will make it for you if you will come. And it seems like that's the trend. People just, they want to be here. The location can't be beat.
I'm sure many people are wondering, like, do you have any price objections with the way that things are going in Southwest Florida, as far as people worried about, you know, what's happening in the world and the market and everything like that? Or do you feel like it's just no holds barred when it comes to people moving to Florida? They just want out of where they are.
Well, I think there was a time where people were really desperate just to get out and they were just scooping up properties. And I've seen a little bit of a change recently where there's a shift, and some properties that are ridiculously overpriced are sitting on the market now for a little bit longer. People that are spending millions of dollars are savvy, and they're not going to just throw their money at anything. They want to know what they're getting. We're willing to pay for quality if it's worth it. And the prices have definitely continued to go up. But I think that people will still buy, and the prices will continue to do that if the quality is there to command that price point.
So speaking of quality and beauty, tell us more about Stella Naples and what's gone into that and what you love about it.
Well, it was exciting for me because I got to be part of the whole development process, which started about a year before I even started marketing it, starting with us sitting with the architect and trying to name the project, which ended up being named after the developer's youngest daughter, Stella.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
That's so neat.
Yes. So, well, it's catered to urban, sophisticated buyers that are coming to Naples from big cities, because that's definitely a demographic that needed to be served. And the designer that we work with has got this eye for really beautiful and fun design and aesthetic that is a little bit different than some of the more dated traditional things that you would see. Yeah. But yeah, learning about all of the different things that go into putting a project together and then getting it approved by the city of Naples and the design review board. And then coming up with new exciting things to make people want to buy into a new development. So what we did at Stella is we had all this rooftop space, and we decided to do private roof decks for each individual unit.
Nice.
So I think that's part of why it sold so quickly, because it was something that was really new and different in the marketplace. A lot of places that are downtown in Old Naples have roof decks, but they're not individual private roof decks for each owner. And so you can have a hot tub, a fire pit, an outdoor kitchen, all the way up on the roof, in addition to other outdoor living area, which everybody always wants in Southwest Florida, indoor outdoor living and sunshine and fresh breezes coming in. So another exciting part about the development is that I've had people from all over the country that I've got to meet that are coming here. So the people that have ended up buying in Stella are from Boston, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., some local people too, but they're really urban. They like that downtown feel of living and walkability to the beach, walk to the market, and just being outside and being active and enjoying Southwest Florida. So
yeah, and for those of you who haven't been to Southwest Florida, Naples area is just, it's like a quaint beach town with shopping and luxury all around you. It's very special. And the landscaping, every inch of it that you walk, the banyan trees, it's just beautiful all around.
We're spoiled here.
We're so spoiled.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, sold. I need to see one of these units because they're just like amazing. So you had mentioned that you walked in and you interviewed to be a part of this development project, right? Mm-hmm. And you were up against some competition. What do you think, or why do you think that they picked you?
I guess it was my determination and my confidence also.
Confidence in the project, confidence in the market?
I would say more confidence in myself and my ability to sell it and my drive.
Awesome.
Because I think really part of being a real estate agent is selling yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I was in the right time in the right place, and I thought, this is my moment to shine, and I'm going to do it. And I did, and now I'm lucky enough to probably be able to list this next development coming up. So I guess I can't say that it's luck, because I worked really hard to get here.
No, I was curious. I know it's a tough question to answer because you're like, oh, this is why I'm so great. But I think there's many agents watching this that will say to themselves like, oh my gosh, how did she get that? I'd love to know the tips around the interview or something like that. So any tips around that type of project?
Sure. Well, I prepared, obviously.
Yes.
I met with my real estate broker, and we went over a lot of details, and then other people. My family's also in the real estate business, so I always talk to my dad. He's a real estate broker.
Wow.
Very wise man. So I just had certain talking points that I pulled up, because it's sort of a bit of a negotiation too when you're going in for a big listing like that, because everything's negotiable. Mm-hmm. And so you need to be prepared to have the correct answer to make yourself appear calm and collected, but also just be real, because you got to keep it real. And when you're working on a development, you're going to be working with these people for a long period of time too. So I suppose my prepared answers and just going in with a plan of how I wanted to respond and sticking to my guns, that really helped me.
I love that.
Yeah.
So any last words of wisdom or advice for either somebody who's starting out or somebody who maybe just wants more business and feels a little lost around how to do that?
Well, I would say just find a place that you want to stick with farming, and or maybe a couple different places where you feel like you really know the market, and then just stick with it and be a part of the community there and continue to promote yourself and be confident, talk to people, be positive, and it will come to you if you just keep trying and believing and networking. It's really a lot about who you know as well.
Sure, absolutely. Love that. I find that when you ask for help, and that seems to be a very congruent thing with a lot of these interviews, is a lot of the successful agents say ask for help. And when you ask for help, even though you might not want to, which I struggle with all the time, things seem to happen easier for you, and a lot of people just want to help, right? So
yes, definitely. That's a great point. Definitely ask for help. Don't be afraid. Don't think that you can handle it all by yourself, especially as a mom.
Right?
I mean, I have the Chick-fil-A app on my phone, and I revert to that once in a while too. So it's not all roses and sunshine and like perfect.
Yeah. No mom is taking a picture in like the McDonald's or Chick-fil-A drive-thru. They're like, wait, yay, getting my kid a Happy Meal, but it's real, right? Like
it's real.
Once in a while, you have to do those things. So
yeah,
love that. Well, thank you so much, Sarah Hudgins. Please look her up. Thank you. The development project sounds incredible, and I am gonna look up that project. And I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you learned a lot. And if you do have questions or need information around anything that Sarah talked about today, you can reach out to her, or you can go to higdongroup.com/Jess, and I'd be happy to connect you with any resources or connect you with her. And if you have any questions around anything, marketing, creating a team, anything like that, please go ahead and fill out that contact form. That's why we put this together, so that you have a place to go if you want some questions answered. higdongroup.com/Jess. I hope you have an incredible day, and we'll see you next time.